Everybody, it looks like we are live. We're going live a little early. Welcome to late night gun chat. It's not really late night here in Alaska. It's only 6:45, but for the rest of the nation, it is late night. So we hope everybody's doing well. We got 3 people in the chat. It looks like we got a lot of people out here. Scott Leeper got in early to say hi Chook to me, which is weird. So that's that. Anyway, I told him to quit calling me Chook because that's insulting to Chook. We got Reloading Weatherby in the chat. Gorilla HD is here. 67 Rebel SST AMC is here. All right, now let me introduce my guest tonight. Go ahead, Steven. Go first.
Oh, my name's Steven Bresnaugh. I have the Bullets for Bucks YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook page, but do hunting content, gun reviews, optics reviews is pretty much what we do.
All right, and we got Guns Gear Outdoor Alaska. So it's a mouthful, but go ahead.
Yeah, hello everybody. I'm Alan. Like Chuck said, I run Guns Gear and Outdoors Alaska YouTube channel. Pretty small. I just started it last year, but I'm up in Fairbanks, and I do mostly gun content. Want to try to lean into the outdoors stuff a little more. It's just pretty hard to film. So thanks for tuning in.
Yep. And so the way this works is we just answer your questions, and the advice we give you is worth exactly what you paid for it, which is nothing if you're on YouTube. So there you go. We will answer like all super chat questions first, but we'll get to every question that we can. Got to get your Pew Pew Tactical Alaskan shirt there, Guns and Gear Alaska. It's a good one to wear. So I think that's what the Coleon Noir. They have this for every state. But anyway, let's see. Mr. FNH is here. Joe Jeffries is here. Scott Leeper again. Doesn't know who Chook is. I am not Chook. All right. Gosh, quit complimenting that guy that way. All right. See, Keith Gregory gets it right. Hey, Chuck, what's going on, man? How you doing, Keith Gregory? All right, James Bromstead. Big Johnson's Guns and Gear. Hello, Gun Nation. That's my impression of him. It's not a good impression. Go check him out. All right. Sorry, Big J. All right. So anyway, so we were just talking before the chat, before everything comes up. Just before we were talking, we were gonna go. Steve and I are gonna go hunt caribou up along the Dalton Highway. Have you ever done that before, Alan?
No, I've been up there about, I think, mile 230 or so, and I thought about bringing my bow up a few times, but yeah, never made it up that way. I just do the 40-mile hunt here around town for caribou.
Yeah, we're probably going to do that. I'm probably going to do that in September too. So I'm probably going to do 2 big hunts.
What time of year are you guys heading up there?
August 1st. Should be plenty of caribou in there by then, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure when they pass through that spot, but
yeah, it should be plenty of caribou coming through by then.
That'll be quite the pack out getting them through that 5 miles back to the corridor, through the corridor. It'll be.
If we get one, we're going to pack raft out. We're carrying everything in and loading out. That's the whole point of staying next to the river.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
You don't get to keep them here, Big J. If you hit them with your truck, you don't get to keep them here. There's like a roadkill wait list. So, all right. This is what it is. Sterling has that paint at his store whenever you're passing through. Okay. Yeah, you emailed me about that. I got to get back with you. About that.
Yeah, I thought about, I could bring a bow, but it's more trouble than I think it's worth from what I've heard. And then I would have to bring it on a plane and everything too. So it'd be extra cargo to pay for.
Yeah.
I think you got to have the class too for Alaska. You got to do that bow hunter.
Yeah, you got to do a bow hunter.
Yeah. Is there any kind of reciprocity for that?
There is. I think you can check out the website. They have a list of organizations and states that they honor.
I might have to go and check that out and see what they honor. I met a guy too that has a cabin somewhere in Alaska. I think it's like northeast Alaska. So maybe me and Chuck or something will be able to stay there sometimes, another trip maybe or something. It's in a different area than we're caribou hunting, but this guy was like, hey, you could stay in my cabin, but it's not where you're going. But I think he's got moose and bear where he's at. I don't think there's as many caribou.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right. Got our first question of the night. All right. With all the interest in the faster, flatter, super ultra magnum calibers being offered, so they're still falling for old calibers like 30-06 as a general Alaska rifle. Absolutely. Absolutely. But really, to be honest with you, with modern bullet technologies, anything from 7mm 08 up to 6.5 PRC, up to 30-06, 280 AI, 6.5, 284 Norma, anything like that is considered a general purpose Alaskan rifle with modern bullet technologies, because they'll all do exactly what the 30-06 will do. The bullet's in the right spot. But that being said, yeah, definitely. I mean, my first rifle I killed a caribou with up here was the 30-06. So, Alan, you want to answer that question too? Or?
Yeah, the biggest rifle I own right now is a 30-06. So hopefully I don't need anything bigger than that. My all-around load's a 200 grain partition, just in case there's bears or stuff around, or for moose getting a bullet going. But yeah, I usually use less. I shoot caribou with a 300 Savage.
Yeah,
pretty
they're
small.
Not that tough.
Yeah, you don't need a huge gun unless probably you're messing around with those coastal brown bears. Then you might want a little bigger, but
or if you get a bison
I don't know
tag.
What you guys think 30-06 is about the bottom end when you start looking at those bigger bears? But
yeah, 30-06 is the bottom end. I mean, I know people have claimed to do a brown bear with 6.5 Creedmoor over a bait station, through the body too, not through the head. But I mean, yeah,
over bait's kind of a different animal. You can shoot them with your bow if you're high enough in a tree and not have to worry about. I guess tracking them afterwards would be the fun.
Smaller caliber is just less smaller cartridge, smaller caliber is just less forgiving usually on mistakes. That's why I like bigger stuff for bigger stuff. But
agreed. So is what it is. Sorry, I had to text my wife. She's out getting us a new freezer because our freezer just popped.
I used to use 6.5 Creedmoor on elk, and I still do occasionally, and I used to be a big proponent of it. But you grow up and you learn, well, yeah, but if I make a mistake and bullet placement isn't perfect or something like that, then it can go wrong a lot more often.
Especially when you use that crappy ELDX you were using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine was, I think my worst stories were pretty much more so due to just bullet placement, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a little less it can still happen. It can still happen with a 300 Win Mag or 300 PRC, certainly, but it's just a little bit more forgiving.
Sure. Absolutely. The more energy, the deeper penetration from a deeper caliber. I'll tell you what, 6.5 Creedmoor is plenty fine for caribou. I mean, you were just saying you used the 300 Savage, so that's even less foot-pounds of energy.
I think 243 would be fine for caribou. Well, I know people who've killed moose with 243, kids and stuff. It's all about, like you said, bullet construction and shot placement come before the cartridge, but I think it takes you have to be patient. You have to get that perfect shot if you're going to start trying to use those small things. That's definitely not a beginner sort of.
No. I had a roommate once who took a brown bear with a 243. Like, it's possible. Yeah. All right. As a follow-up question, how about 308 Winchester? There's a lot of people that use the 308 Winchester up here, but it's not a follow-up. Or it's not it's not that, 30-06 is the minimum. A lot of people use it, but the people that have a 308 feel like they need a 338 Win Mag or a 375 for big brown bear, but they have a 308. Yeah. 308.
I live in Wyoming, and I would hunt anything elk or smaller with 308. Moose, I'd probably choose something bigger. Although, I mean, yeah, and if I was in grizzly country, I mean, it worst comes to worst, something bigger would be a little bit. But then the only caveat to having shooting a bigger, heavier hitting cartridge is that usually you have a lot more recoil generally. And then if you have more recoil, you might have more difficulty taking up follow-up shots in an emergency situation. So there is that too. So some people will say they'd rather have, something they can more comfortably handle and shoot better follow-up shots with, but it is what it is. I don't know.
308 is popular for people who like to hunt with an AR-10, or like that's their bug out gun, their HSTF crap hits the fan gun, and AR-10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 308 FMJs are about the only ammo you can get in Fairbanks right now. Rifle ammo from the store.
Wow.
It's the only thing that's consistent here in Anchorage.
You can get quite a bit in Wyoming right now, actually, more so than other.
That's a good sign. Stuff. Maybe it's coming back soon.
Maybe a lot of you can get a lot of. Well, there's a bunch of federal gold medal match out right now at stores for 308, which is for target, that's good. And then there is some I think different types of soft point. I can't remember which manufacturer. There's a bunch. There's quite a bit though that's been out around me lately.
Yeah, 308 seems to be a lot more prevalent right now than anything else. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
I saw 6.5 Creedmoor the other night at Sportsman's here in Anchorage, and it was stuff I wanted. It was Federal Terminal Sin. I didn't have a box to test on the channel. They wanted $64.95, and I did not buy it. It was the day before payday, and went back 2 days later, and of course it was gone. I was like, you're an idiot if you're buying Federal Terminal Ascents for $64.95.
Everything.
The thing is right next to it was the only factory load my rifle likes in 6.5 by 284 Norma. And they wanted $96.99 a box for that.
Everything's double. The only thing that I'm seeing that's not double the price where I'm at is 9mm ammunition. That's not quite double where I'm at, but everything else is still double or triple what it used to be. And I don't know that that'll ever completely change, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm still using up all my components from before all the craziness, and I'm getting real low on powder. That's where I'm having trouble.
Sorry. Yeah. What kind of powder do you need?
I use Varget for 300 Savage mostly. I still have some more. Reloader 22 is what I had on hand. I've been using in my 30-06.
Well, if you've got
2400 on hand, I need 44 mag.
Yeah, I need Reloader 22. I got half a pound left. So
hey.
Grab it.
Here's what it is.
More questions. Who's got it's somebody's taking an elk with a 25-06 too. 25.
That 120 grain, 115 grain nozzle precision. It's great. Okay, I know Chuck is in the archery, but what broadheads are you other guys running?
I actually use Rage, but that's not to say that I think they're the best or the way to go. I've had some penetration issues with Rage on a couple occasions, which has made me second guess them, but I still do use them. I think sometimes they open up a little too quick, but it depends on which Rage you're using, because like they have the Trypan, hypodermic, and things like that. So it probably depends a little bit on which one you're using, but I can't remember which one it is, but on one of them, more so than the others, I've had them open up so quick before they penetrate enough that I would get like a single long and not be able to recover. It's happened where I haven't been able to recover an animal before that way. And that's, but when they work really good. I mean, I've seen them put down deer and stuff in just a couple yards or not even, and they bleed out really good because they have such a huge expansion.
Sounds like deer and antelope maybe, but not for like elk and moose.
Yeah, a lot of people choose fixed blade for elk, something that's a little tougher, maybe thicker too, like the actual metal is a little thicker, so it can really bust through ribs and stuff like that. Definitely like 125 grain or greater. A lot of elk hunters, it's not to say you couldn't use 100 grain Rage. It's just, it's kind of like the ammunition or the cartridge thing. You go lighter, there's more risk involved. Maybe not as much penetration and whatnot, but generally I like Rage, but
I've only ever shot whitetail deer with a bow, but I always use just fixed blade, either I don't know, Muzzy or Slick Tricks, and I've always got full penetration, like arrow in one side and out the other. But that isn't really hard with whitetails; they're not very thick.
Nope. All right, Scott Lieber, what was your opinion of me taking my 500 Smith & Wesson to a gunsmith and reducing the barrel length to 500 and carry in a chest holster and speed loaders? Hey, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good option, man. I didn't know you had done that, so I don't know. So that's cool, man. All right, let's see. I made it. Lynn Morgan, Martin Horst, always here. Good job. Good evening, heavy lead enthusiasts. Been here on the chat. So there you go. Okay. Let me think of the Hornady powder measure, Chuck. Just got my mounted to the bench and all the bolts super tight. Been prepping, priming 1009mm cases ready for powder. I've never liked Hornady scales, and I don't like powder flow measures. I'd rather just use the scoops and dump and then trickle into the scale. That's me. I don't like powder flow measures. I've never found them really consistent. So still got to trickle in. So let's see. 308 on big hogs, 25-06. But I wouldn't suggest it as a primary round for the job. Yep, it'd be fine for Caribou. Shooting with Uncle Dan. I sold all of my AR pistols. Man, there you go. Hope you got good money for him, Uncle Dan. That was a smart move. So, all right. 308 is always usually available. My boss uses a bolt action 308 for his moose gun. It works.
Yeah, first elk was with a 308. We talked about that last time I was on, I think.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Big J? Chuck, what are your favorite loads for the G29? I got 200 grain hard cast underwood ammo for the woods and looking at the 155 grain XTP for the hoods. Stay with the 155 grain XTP for the hood. That's a great load for the hood. For the woods, I would want to go the 190 grain Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game. Even though they're not all that powerful, they get better penetration than hard cast or extreme penetrators, really. Because that mono metal, just solid bullet. And I would look at the Buffalo Bore Dangerous Game, and it's not loaded so hot that you can't use it in Glocks. So that's that. So
I think I might look into those then, because I was using those HSM ones before, and you told me that how underpowered they were. I don't have a chronograph, so I might check those out too.
Yeah, they're pretty underpowered. They were so the HSM I shot listed about 580 foot-pounds out of a 6-inch barrel, which that's
is pretty low end for 10. That's 40 Smith & Wesson almost hot.
Almost. I mean, 40 Smith & Wesson will creep up over 500, but not by month. So yeah, it's a low end 10. Sure, in a regular Glock 20, it's definitely 40 Smith & Wesson. So which I did get a Glock 20. So, but I prefer the Glock 40 any day of the week. What's going on, Mountain View? Just discovered Silky Saws, dude, game changer. Yeah, I might have to look that up. I'm not a big.
What is that Silky Saws thing?
Yeah, Big Boss. So let us know.
I'll look
Trapper Scotty. It's up in North Pole tonight.
Oh, it's like a fold out saw.
Yeah,
I have something similar. I use it every once in a while to cap.
I've heard the Silkies are really good. Yeah. I use a Swacker 150 grain 3-inch cut.
I've heard good things about those. I have never used them, but I've heard good things about them.
All right. Big Johnson Guns and Gear is obviously on a business trip in the hotel like he is all the time, and he's got a little whiskey with him and got a little vodka, maybe, or maybe he's anti-Russian and he's got some whiskey instead, and he's suggesting that y'all play a drinking game with him. Take a shot every time someone says penetrate.
I got water.
That's yeah. I don't even have water with me right now. So
There was a video I did on a Winchester Model 70. It's on my YouTube where I say it's a beautiful rifle or it's beautiful. Like I guess maybe like 50 times. It's insane. So people have done drinking games and it's like every comment's making fun of it, but it's hilarious. I didn't even realize it until, people started commenting. I was like, yeah, I do say it an awful lot. But
when I first started making videos, I was like 500, 2,000 subscribers. I kept saying, hi, it's Chuck from Alaskan Ballistics. And then when I would go to the next scene, hi, it's Chuck from Alaskan Ballistics. I go to the next scene, hi, it's Chuck from Alaskan Ballistics. So they gave me crap about that every time I said Chuck from Alaskan Ballistics.
All my videos are always hideous. The first like 200 of mine are horrible. Like that's just normal. I mean, and everybody, like, the number one YouTube mistake is repeating yourself, and I still do it. So
yeah, being the YouTube newbie here for sure, talking on a camera is harder than I thought it was gonna be, because I'll go edit the video and I'll think I sound stupid. What am I saying now?
All the critics that comment, a lot of they'll be like, you did this or you did that, or you said this or you did this wrong, or your trigger squeeze was wrong. But if they videotape themselves ever, they would realize they probably do this stuff all the time without even knowing it. It's amazing how much you see that you wouldn't see if you videotape something. But
yeah, definitely. What's up, you call him?
Anyway.
Oh, cool. There's no water in AK, only ice. Not true. Canadian prepper either designed them or is just a skill. Okay. Anyone here by chance know anything about putting hardcast through FNX 460 rolling overtime wearing particularly more than other loads? Michael Kaler should if he's here. He has that same FNX 460 rolling. But no, shouldn't be, because you're rolling the barrel kit. Not if you're using the stock barrel, but if you're using the rolling barrel, you should be fine. If you're using the stock barrel, you're in trouble. So
I have whiskey in the freezer. Got it for when I was sick all winter. But I see the next comments about whiskey again. Well, there's no more questions. Do you have any more questions? Oh, there's just powder coat the bullets.
Okay. Actually, I don't. I don't drink very much, so I don't know that, Big Johnson. I wish I did, but so it's that I don't know that, unfortunately. So remember, guys, this chat is driven by you guys, so you guys ask the question, and
you want a question that's got a little debate while we're waiting for questions?
Sure.
Or a topic, I should say. So I was watching another podcast today. I forget the name of the YouTube channel. One of the guys had a huge TikTok, or pretty big. It was like 70,000, which actually for TikTok, that's not as big a deal. But it was about headshots on big game animals. The debate of, some people think it's okay to head shoot big game animals. Some people think it's not. I wonder what you guys have as opinions on that, or what your reasoning is for your opinion.
I think it depends on the circumstances for sure. That, like, under normal hunting conditions, I'm always going for that hard lung broadside shot. But
absolutely,
I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna put something down, the base of the brainstem is the best place. I mean, this right here, if you want instant incapacitation, this is where it happens right here, right? It doesn't even necessarily happen like up here, even right here. Instant incapacitation's like right through here, right?
So you're for them? Is that kind of what you're saying? Or
oh yeah, I've shot so many deer in the head with the 223 AR-15, right at the base of the brainstem, head, neck, right where they meet. And when I hunted deer in Georgia with an AR-15, there's no meat damage. They don't go anywhere. You can use a low recoiling small gun because you're going to put it. I only used it over food plots that were like less than 100 yards big. Mm-hmm. So there's no brush or anything to get in the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't do them. I'm not like, I guess my idea, well, with Western style hunting especially, is like the risk isn't worth it because it's a smaller target. Animal's constantly moving its head usually. Risk of injuring it and not recovering it more so, I feel like. But if I think it would be like you have a fixed rest, you're within 25 yards, and like I can see where there's scenarios where it would be more acceptable in my mind. But for me, I have chose not to so far on big game. But
that's kind of like if you're out in the bush and you're meat hunting and you have your AR-15 or whatever you carry around all the time, and a moose walks out 25 yards in front of you. I mean, under those circumstances, that happens all the time. People right in the base of their ear, drop them. Like Chuck said, no meat damage, good to go. But
the other thing about headshot is like when you're in dangerous game animals, like a moose is a dangerous game animal. It'll stomp you in a heartbeat. So you wound that thing and it turns around and gets pissed at you. Especially at that distance you're talking about. Yeah, happened.
I think that moose that charged me this winter that I killed, my first shot hit it right here, and it stunned her, but she didn't even go down with that. I just kept shooting, and she eventually fell and turned broadside. My fifth shot went through her both lungs, and she still took a good 40 seconds to die.
What were you using, if you don't mind me asking? 12 gauge, I think, right?
Yeah, it was Brennicky 1 ounce knockout slugs. That's all I could get at the store at the time. But there are other cabins not very far from mine, so there was only one exit hole on that moose. So it seemed like it worked okay for what I was doing, what I needed it for.
Yeah. Okay, here's another question. Why choose Glock? Because they work. Because CZ doesn't make a stock 10 millimeter that's affordable for the average person.
Yeah, they're affordable, they're reliable, pretty durable, and tons of aftermarket support and parts support too for them. That's not this. I mean, I like other stuff than just Glock, but you can't argue. You can't argue. The only I always pound it to death is the only thing I hate about Glock is the factory rear sight that comes on most of them, unless you get it with the night sights. It comes with that polymer rear, which isn't the usability of it. It's the fact that I've had them move and shift and get banged around, and so that's the first. I don't believe in having a Glock with that. I believe in immediately replacing it. But apart from that, it's a good, reliable pistol. I was shooting a Canic a bunch the last 2 days though, and it's been great. A lot of people say it's that they don't cycle well with 115s when they're new until the spring breaks in, but mine's never had a problem, and it's always cycled well with 130s and 115s and everything else.
So I think it is great to headshot shoot anything you want to kill. However, the animals I hunt are, come on, Dan, animals I hunt are against it, not or against it. Do those guys hunt, Chuck? Yeah, I don't know. Gorilla HD headshot worked on your bear, Chuck. Yeah, my brown bear I headshot right through the jaw, but I still had to go put a bunch more headshots through him. He was still breathing. So
bears are tough.
Better about the government ordering Lake City to dust off and reopen more than a dozen ammo plants closed after World War II. I have not heard that. First I've heard about it.
Yes.
I did an
that wouldn't be good for our components.
Yeah, I did an access joint shot on my bison 100 yards standing still. What do you mean access joint shot? Like right here? Is that what you're talking about? Access joint?
A lot of, he probably, I mean, I'm assuming that's what he means, but I'm not sure. A lot of Western hunters, I don't, but a lot of Western hunters do shoot neck shots.
Okay, hold on. Let me text my wife back.
We got a bunch
Yeah,
more
stop.
questions coming in here.
Yeah.
Fell right there. Get advice, aka Wild Game Ranch. For me. No problem with Glock sights. Like I mean, like I don't have a problem with how they function, except I have a problem with the durability, I guess is how I would say it. I've had to move around on me too much in the dovetail.
I've never had to move around the dovetail, but if you bump them while they're in a holster, you can break them because they're plastic. So that's the issue for me.
I've never
done that. Yeah. I've dropped them and not broke them, but like, you know, my Glock 20 still has factory sights. It'll probably still have factory sights when you come up here, just so you know. So
if they were, I mean, if they work well for you and you haven't had a problem, that's been my experience. And so like, I like the metal on metal sights, you know, metal on the metal slide. And I find that they don't have any issues. So that's what I like to go with. But
did you go with a night sight on that or a fiber optic or what did you go to?
On the
sights on mine, but I really like the front night sight.
I have goodness gracious, my mind's not working tonight. They're the tritium night sights. I have on 2 or 3 Glocks that I own are all tritium night sights, but I forget which manufacturer they are. They're all metal though.
I like Trijicon night sights. I hate fiber optic because those little fiber optic sleeves tend to fall out.
Yeah. On my competition gun, which isn't a Glock, I have fiber optic, but on all my like bear defense or defensive pistols that are full size, I have some of them are Trijicon, but they're not fiber optic. I agree with you. Fiber optic can be a bit touchy and have durability issues as well. What were you saying, Alan? It sounded like you were going to say something there.
Oh, I was just looking to upgrade mine eventually, probably after the summer, because don't need night sights in the summer around here for the most part. So
yeah. Once you get into mid-July, if you're hiking out in the middle of the night, like you're trying to do, like get in early for bears or salmon somewhere, like you could be before dark, mid-July. So not in your area, my area. Your area is probably still, you don't need anything until September, huh? But
I think that like night sights are nice to have, but most of the time under pressure, you're not really going to use them necessarily. Like notice that they're there, although they've done studies on different types of things like that, where people that are really good competition shooters, they'll be like, I don't use my sight. Like I don't actually look at it, this or that. And then they actually remove it. And then all of a sudden they realize they shoot bad again. And so they're like subconsciously using it, even though they don't realize it. So even in a gunfight or emergency, subconsciously you might reference it, but usually it's going to be really instinctual under pressure. You know, when cops get in shootouts or anything like that, it's very instinctual.
I have ghost ring sights on my home defense shotgun here, the one I used on that moose, and I was pretty thankful to have them, I think, because before it went down, there was a lot of shouting and stuff going on, and just being able to have that precise sight picture, I think that's why my first shot was so well placed. I think if I had a bead, the chances of me being off by an inch or two would have been a little more. So in that instance, I was thankful to have them. But
right.
All right. James Bromstead wants us to start the 10 millimeter versus 44 Magnum debate. There's no debate. Whichever one you shoot better and can get the first 4 or 5 shots down with, that's the one you go with. There's no debate. I mean, you've got a great video on that, Alan. So.
Did you guys see that? The newer one where I put the sled on the snow machine and pulled the bear? For me, the 10 millimeter smoked the 44 mag, but that's a me problem. That's not the 44 mag's problem. I just shoot this out of better. So it really is a personal choice. Yeah, there's no one size fits all.
I have not seen the one where you pulled this thing. Me and Chook did that without a snow machine, just pulled for each other. I tell you what, even that, just to having the bear target run at you from 20 yards, it's a lot of fun. First of all, it's just a lot of fun to do that drill. But yeah, I mean, we did it from everything with 9mm up to 12 gauge and 45-70, and like most of us got better hits with the 9 and 10mm than we did anything else. I got some good hits with my 45 Super or 45. But yeah, if you're better with the 10mm, then you shoot the 10mm. If you're better with the 44 mag, you shoot the 44 mag. There's no argument that 44 mag is way more powerful. So if you shoot your 44 mag well, I don't shoot my 44 mag that well. I shoot it well enough at personal defense distances to get hits on target. But honestly, a lot of times I carry my 44 mag in my chest holster because it's so freaking comfortable, and I carry my herbalist stock pack has the molly webbing, and I have just a Serpa holster built with the molly web adapter into the pack of that, the side of that pack, and I have my Glock 20 stuck down in there, and so I'm carrying both a lot of times.
Well, I think
what is it? 2 extra pounds to carry a Glock 20 plus the 44 Magnum. Maybe once you add ammo, maybe 3 or 4 extra pounds.
Yeah. I think when you bring up that argument too, you should just remember a long gun is any long gun. It's a 330. It's gonna blow any handgun out of the water. I think, but just as long as your hand's ready to go, being able to get on guns where they need to go. That's my opinion, at least. So you guys agree with that?
You're roboting pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert on 10mm or 44 mag. I shoot mostly 40 Smith & Wesson at 9mm and 380 and stuff like that. But I think that like if you didn't have a 10mm or 44 mag already, then that would be one thing. But if you already do, it's going to depend a lot probably on the actual pistol, the gun itself, not necessarily just the cartridge either, and how well you handle it, So that's something to consider as well.
Okay. Any extra tips I should know about reloading 10mm? Go to ckbhardcastbullets.com or ckbcastbullets.com and get the coated hardcast from him. They're pretty nice. And they're not expensive. It's like $40 for 500 for coated hardcast. So you make your own Underwood hardcast, but they are 180 grain instead of 200 or 220. But yeah, that get a Lee Factory crimp die. Lee Factory crimp die is probably the best for crimping. Don't crimp and seat the bullet at the same time. Just go through afterwards and put a Lee crimp. And use AA number 9 or blue dot. That's going to get you the best velocities. Problem with bison is they can run forever. I bet so can caribou. Caribou used to run up to 50 miles a day.
Is he talking about after they're shot? Or
yes, and before they're shot. Chuck, would you ever be interested in an MMA match against Chook? No, he'd kick my ass. If I ever got a punch in, he was dead. He's quicker. So, no, I'm good at that. Oregon checking in. What's that? Okay, Don said his axis. Yeah, head neck intersection. Exactly. Up here, I shoot deer in the head with a 338 Win Mag to save meat. You got deer up there, Scott? Scott, I thought you were up north. Do you have deer there, Alan? I know whitetails and mule deer have been encroaching into Alaska, so much so they opened the season wide up. Do you have any? Alan, we can't.
There's apparently occasional mule deer, but I've never seen one. I think the last sighting of a mule deer was in 2016, 17.
Okay.
They're not common.
Do you have blacktail up there?
Only on the coast. And that's a you get 6 of them, and you can usually get all 6 of them, but you have to pay a guide to go drop you off on an island in a boat and rent his cabin, and it ends up being a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 hunt just for deer.
For a small deer too.
Small deer. It's like No, I want to,
Yeah.
there's some places where you can fly into like Juneau and get a boat across to a couple other islands where you can hunt blacktail, and then like you can do
Kodiak
that.
would be a
Yeah, I've heard Kodiak's good for a deer, but then you gotta contend with the grizzlies or whatever eating them, or brown bears eating them before you can even get them.
Yeah, I've had a guy tell me he was hunting deer and he had a grizzly tag as well, and he couldn't find any deer, couldn't find any grizzlies, so he took his Glock 20 and went pow 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 on the ground. 10 minutes later, he had his brown bear tag filled.
It's crazy.
Where was that?
Kodiak.
Oh yeah,
I know.
Wow.
I know a guy who's hunted deer there a couple times, and he said that he's had his deer eaten before he even recovers them. Like they're already messed up.
Yeah, that's another reason for headshots right there. They drop right there. We've got them right there. Northwest Guns, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Jaw hinge shot is what we call it. Yeah. No problem in dream. 190 grain Buffalo Board, dangerous game, or 200 grain Underwood high techs. Man, it's neck and neck. Both of those are good. The 200 grain Underwood high tech coated hard cast is going to give you much better foot pounds of energy. But they're both going to be about the same on penetration, with maybe the 190 grain Buffalo Board dangerous game eking it out a little bit, just a hair. So that's that. Trigicon or Meprolite, that's the way to go. Yep. I've had Glock sights fall off on me on its first test shots.
I wonder if he's talking about the front sight though.
Yeah, front sights have flying off before. I've seen that. If I had to buy them, I run Amerigo IDOT Pros. Scott, that's the Alan from Guns and Gear, Alaska. All right, what's up? Lever Guns 50, 8 patter. What's that mean? I have no idea. All right, what's up there? Briar's fiber front and black rear. They have a blue front tube support, and I've never broken one of those with those. Cool. 8 pattern. I have no idea what you're talking about. Night sights just help you find your gun. Other than that, they are worthless. Yeah, pretty much. They make me feel better about seeing my sights in the dark. That's about it. I replaced factory irons on both my Glocks and Trigicon night sights just because. Yep. Advised one friend shoot a spike fork between the eyes. It was sitting up looking at us at 50 yards. Did a backflip, incredible air, but only moved that one time. There you go. Huh. Oh, there you go. Does anyone make a replacement Glock rear that is metal but the factory U? I shoot more accurate with the factory, but trust the night sights very range.
I don't know. I don't recall ever seeing that.
Somebody did. They had a factory. It was a night sight. It wasn't the factory U, but it was a U style. And yeah, and then I agree. That's one thing about the Glock night sight or the Glock sights is they're very accurate. Like that if you put that dot in that U, all right, you keep it there while you fire. It's pretty good.
I think it's easy to learn for quick acquisition the U, but
it's like Vickers. A couple people said Vickers. All right. All the southeast is black. Yep.
Yeah, I would take. There's somebody talking about headshots on hogs. I would take. I've taken like ear shots on hogs. I don't, ethical or not. In my mind, I don't see them the same as like a big game animal.
Yeah. I don't see how people say it's unethical. All right. As long as you're making a good shot, Well, I think hands at 300 yards, you can put it in a moose head at 300 yards. That's up to you. But,
I just think there's more room for error or potentially wounding the animal. But That's my opinion on it. But I think that at further ranges, I think that it's more so. But I think part of the debate that I was hearing on the podcast earlier is this like people that are purposely taking like ego shots, for attention too. Like maybe they wouldn't normally take a headshot, but they're taking a headshot at further distances or without practice for the views, for the likes, for the attention. I think that was part of the debate too.
To be used.
There's a lot.
I missed that last part.
Do any of you guys know anyone who's had a run-ins with polar bears? No, I'm not.
Oh, I kind of do. It was in a secondhand in Arctic Village, which is south of the Brooks Range. There aren't supposed to be polar bears there, but one wandered down there and started tearing up this guy's snow machine. And he went out and it came at him and he killed it with an AR-15 223 for the MJs. About 11 shots.
That'll do it. Yeah, they're definitely more dangerous than the other bears, and they don't hibernate. So,
hello, my fellow Aryans. Oh boy.
629 4-inch has me protected. What? Okay. What do you guys think of 7mm up there for hunting? Oh gosh, I got a 7mm weight and a 7mm rim mag, and I've killed 3 caribou. My wife's killed 1 with a 7mm rim mag. I would take my 7mm rim mag is my hunting gun. That's my rifle. I'm just using my 6.5 284 this year because I hadn't killed anything with it, and I've got the 300 mag. And honestly, the 300 mag Win mag might be my wife's rifle. She might have a better gun than I do. I love my 7 mag. I'm going to carry it, and it works. But
have you heard the rumors about
I love 7mm 08.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard the rumors about 7mm PRC, 7 PRC?
Yeah, I've heard the rumors the other night, but we'll see. All right. I'm gonna take this this Herman Goring guy and just block him out of the chat. That is not okay. All right, Big E, howdy. Any comps you suggest for a Glock 10mm? Yes, absolutely none. Don't put one on there. If you bought the G40 to begin with instead of a G20, you wouldn't need one. Okay, the front heavy slide is makes it a lot better, but learn to shoot without one. You don't need one. That's my opinion. What do you think, Alan? You got a Glock 20, right?
Yeah, I think they're bad. I know you like muzzle brakes on a couple things, but I found they're just, for me, they catch mud and snow and crap. I usually just put a piece of tape over my muzzle or over my suppressor and call it a day. I don't like anything that could collect dirt because I've stuffed my muzzle too many times. Maybe I'm just clumsy, but it seems to attract stuff. So I would not go for that. The 10mm doesn't have enough recoil to warrant it.
No, absolutely not. So, I mean, it will help you shoot faster, but you'll also lose 50 feet per second. So at that point, you're shooting a 40 Smith & Wesson with the different, depending on the load. So. Headshots is lights out. Your opinion is based off of what? Shooting animals in the head? When moving, shoot hogs on the move. Body makes sense, but you catch them still a shorter range. A headshot is perfect. Okay, when shooting hogs on the move, a body shot makes sense, but catch them at a short range and a headshot is perfect. I think I'm interpreting the drunk texting there. All right, Big E. I'm just playing with you, Big E. Don't kill me. All right, but yeah. Let's see. My Rangemaster's approval on the 9mm. I will start bucket filling next time. I'll bring some to call. Sweet, man. Thank you. Should have said, are my exes Spanleys? Okay. On deer along the coast, I'm everywhere. Yeah, take me with you next time, Scott. Good evening. Did you get to shoot the Smith & Wesson M&P 210 mm? I've seen you can Lone Wolf long windy road shooting one. What are your thoughts on it? I have not. I've only held one. Feels kind of chintzy compared to a Glock. Like the frame isn't as thick. And other than that, I mean, it's a good gun, but you know, nobody's really shown me a good video of it feeding 220 grain buffalo boar and 200 grain underwood and stuff. The stuff I want to see.
Oh gosh, now we got Alda Hitler.
Yeah,
That's the same guy. I guarantee it.
I think it's good that manufacturers are starting to recognize the 10's comeback and starting to put out new guns in it. That's just a good trend. I don't know about the Smith & Wesson. I never messed with one either.
So who is this Scott Riley? You know him, right, Chuck, or no?
No, I don't know him. He's just on the chat all the time.
Oh.
But if he'll email me, let's go hunt blacktail, Scott. Let's do it.
Take me commercial fishing too. Maybe not commercial, but sport fishing.
Fish and Feathers advises against the head and neck shots, but if you're close enough and know you won't miss, I'd do it. Heck yeah. Head and neck shots, man. But I will say that even neck shots and head shots, because whitetail deer, that's all I took if I could. If I had the shot, that's all I would take were neck shots. And even with those, like, you can tell the difference in caliber power. Because I shot a bunch of deer right here in the neck, and they would fall and they'd be still twitching a little bit and take them a while to die. And then I shot one in the neck with a 300 Win Mag. Kaboom, done. You know, no twitching, no breathing, nothing. So only thing I've killed with a 300 Win Mag. So is what it is. 10 millimeters in frame. There you go.
I never really understood why you'd want a 10 millimeter in a revolver over something like 41 or 44.
I agree. If you're going to limit
like
yourself,
you're losing some
shots,
versatility there, but
I mean, you could use 40 Smith & Wesson in it easier. Yeah. Like it's safer to use 40 Smith & Wesson. So you wanted something that you could shoot your 40 and your 10, have fun with. It's a fun range toy. That's all it is. It's a fun range toy. But why would you not have a 41? Like, you know, a 44? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me either. You know? So if you're going to have a revolver, get a revolver caliber, except for like 22 Magnum or 22 long rifle. You know, if you're going to have a semi-auto, have a semi-auto. Now that Ruger Red Hawk that can take both 45 auto with min clips and 45 long Colt, now that's a good idea. That one I would buy if I found it again.
And you can buy cheap 45 auto when that used to exist and shoot that in it.
Absolutely.
And then switch.
I have a comp on my G20 only because it had a faster lead time at the time when I ordered my KKM. There you go. Yes, very odd spammer tonight. What's your opinion of Jerry Mitchell? Awesome. Save all the valuable meat. Absolutely. What's going on? Chuck, how you doing, Eugene? I'm going to use at least 175 grain cast bullet for my 10 millimeter carbine. I do see RBS makes a 200 grain mold for 40 10 millimeter. There you go. Yeah, both are good. Simple. I just love wheel guns. I have the 8-shot 627 Pro and 629 to go with it. There you go. If you love them, go with it. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I remember 10 millimeter back in the 90s. Me too. That's why I'm asking about it. Their comp comes on the proprietary threads, or I can get the standard threads. But I'm not seeing a better comp than theirs anyway. Doubt I'd suppressed. Well, yeah. On my Glock 20, when I order the KKM barrel forward, I'm not going to get a threaded barrel. So, yeah, KKM lead time right now is about 7 weeks, which is better than it has been. It was 10 to 12. So, KKM is the way to go, though. So, that's that. All right, guys. Well, seeing no further questions, let's talk a little bit what you got coming up on the channel. Alan, what you got coming up on your channel?
I'm a little bit behind right now. I put out those 2 charging bear target videos that took me a little while to set up. So I did pick up a Ruger American in 308. Not feeding right for me. I'm getting failures to feed in the last round going in. So I got a video coming up about that. But that's about it for me right now.
Cool. And I'm going to put a link in the chat right here to Alan's channel. Let's go check him out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep, everybody go check him out. Yeah. So Stephen, what do you got coming on the channel?
Oh, on Bullets for Bucks, we got all kinds of stuff still in the works. I keep saying it, but we're finally getting closer to getting the videos out on a whole bunch of those rifles. I've been mentioning the Havoc PH2, the Seiko S20, the Christensen Ridgeline, Furious Rival CT. A whole bunch of rifle videos going to be coming out here over the summer, combined with a bunch of optics reviews. So we got a Steiner scope, the new Vortex Razor Gen 3 we'll be reviewing. We got the new, this is the new Vortex Strike Fire 1:8 by 24 low power variable optic. This is the new one though. That's first focal plane. They had a different version out before. We'll be testing that out on AR, hopefully shortly. And then even more so, like this week, actually today, I just shot a video on the Mossberg. Let's see if I can remember this right. MC2 SC micro compact pistol. It hasn't been edited yet, but that'll be coming out. Actually functioned great. No problems with it ejecting or feeding or anything like that. It actually seems like a pretty decent little budget friendly micro compact 9mm for concealed carry. Has a double stack magazine, so it's 11, or that comes with 11+1, and it comes with a 14+1, which is pretty nice. So
nice.
Has a slide cutout too, so you can add an optic if you really want to. But,
Yep. So I just want everybody to know what says Parker Mountain Machine Works like a dream on a nice compensator. There you go. If y'all are not already on Chuck's MeWe page, you're wrong. He posts a shite ton of good stuff over there. Yeah, I try to post a lot of stuff over there a lot of times. Do you have videos about ballistic differences with 9mm with barrel links? Yes, tons of them. I got several of them. So it is what it is.
So what's a 9mm and a 3.4 inch barrel on that Mossberg MC2, the micro compact? What ballpark are you looking at velocities or whatnot on that?
You're gonna lose. It really depends on the load and the powder they use. You're gonna lose anything from 120 feet per second to maybe 20 feet per second off the box. It just really depends on what powder, bullet, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes even primers make a difference on how well the powder burns quickly. So yeah. So that's that. Do any of you have experience with the Tikka T3X? Every Tikka I've ever bought is junk. Stay away.
I have one.
Right here sitting next to me is a 270.
Really? Those are strong.
Yeah, they're very popular here.
What?
The first one I had,
I think the short
So, Alan, your signal's going in and out. We can't hear you out.
Yeah,
I've had one for yeah. What were you saying?
Oh, I think the magazines being short and the Tikkas, usually they shoot good, but I think the magazines, sometimes the twist rate's weird. I like them, but they have some serious shortcomings too that just kind of make me shake my head.
Yeah, my chamber is so much longer than my magazine. My chamber is so much longer than my magazine. It's hard to find the next node when you don't start at the back of the lands when you're reloading. So yeah, there's that. Well, mine only shoots a 100 grain GMX. That's the only thing I can get to consistently shoot half an inch. A 100 grain GMX in a 270. So like I'm gonna try some more. I got more loads to try, but it's like Jeez, that's crazy. So
I have, yeah, I've had one for like 5 years, 6 years. I have the Tika T3X super light, which is like it's a fluted barrel, so that's pretty much the only difference. It shoots great. It's shot a whole bunch of different factory ammunition grades. It's a 6.5 Creedmoor. It shoots, I would say, really good. You know, I think the shortcomings with Tika, and I always harp on it and I get hate for it, is their stock and their bedding, like how the receiver beds into the stock with the recoil lug. Those are like my biggest pet peeves is the bedding, the stock quality, at the price they're at. I feel like they should be a little bit better. But most of the people I know that shoot them, they shoot good. That's the majority. They come in a standard size action, so for reloaders it can cause a lot of issues. And yeah, their magazines are cheap feeling, but I've never had issues with them.
It's not the quality of the magazines; it's the fact that their magazines are so short.
Right, and it's not a full long action, or it's a standard size action. They don't make a long action, which can cause issues, and because of that, they don't come in like 300 PRC or something like that. So they're not available in it. Seiko is come in more, but they're a lot more expensive too than a made in the same factory though, almost the same gun.
All right. Thought so. I have a whole video on that, so just look it up. But it's Ranger Point Precision. Just look up the video. Ranger Point Precision 4570 muzzle brake. You'll find it. Me and Pat RMG both have one. So, all right. Don, you decided wants to know if you decided what guns you're bringing this fall.
No, I haven't decided yet. Hopefully within a month I'll know. I'm leaning towards the Seiko just because it breaks down. So I can fit it in like a 32 or 36 inch case, which will be easier to pack and fly with and whatnot. But we'll see. But it weighs more than like the Weatherby backcountry and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. We're gonna call it a night. God bless. Take care. We'll see you at the range. My wife just got home, so I gotta get in touch with her. We got to put a new freezer in. So y'all all take care now.
Have a good night.